The story begins in Afghanistan, where a U.S. Army convoy suddenly comes to a halt after one of their vehicles breaks down. A combat engineer named Alan arrives to fix the issue. After completing his work, Alan speaks with the convoy leader, Jay. It turns out, they're brothers. The two of them then agree to join the U.S. Army Ranger Selection Program, determined to become elite soldiers together. But not long after, everything turns into chaos. The entire unit is suddenly ambushed by a Taliban mortar attack. Many soldiers are killed instantly. Amid the destruction, Alan survives. Even while injured, he struggles to evacuate Jay, who is in critical condition. 2 years later, Alan is on his way to the Ranger Selection Program. This isn't his first attempt. He's tried multiple times before, but always failed due to health issues. When he arrives, each candidate is assigned a number that becomes their identity. From this point on, Alan is known as 81. Soon after, Sergeant Torres gathers all the candidates. He explains that Rangers are elite soldiers, always deployed first into battle. Their actions can determine the fate of a nation. The selection process, he says, will push every candidate to their absolute physical, mental, and emotional limits. Only those who pass will earn the Ranger badge and join one of the most respected regiments in the U.S. Army. As the days go by, the candidates undergo intense training. Among them, 81 quickly stands out. Some even nickname him Superman because of his exceptional physical strength. Eventually, they face a grueling test in a swimming pool. While struggling through it, 81 suddenly flashes back to the moment he tried to save Jay. The memory hits hard. The trauma overwhelms him, breaking his mental focus. He fails the test and has to be pulled out before he drowns. Afterward, 81 is called in by Sergeant Torres and Sergeant Sheridan. They discuss several concerns about him. He shows signs of severe trauma, avoids communication with others, and refuses leadership roles. Despite being one of the best candidates physically, they believe he may not be fit to become a ranger. He's ordered to sign a resignation form for his own good. But 81 refuses. Becoming a ranger has always been his dream and Jay's. The next day, Torres announces the candidates advancing to the final selection. Surprisingly, 81 is on the list, even after being dismissed earlier. Not long after, Torres briefs them on their final mission. They must destroy a secret aircraft that was previously shot down. At the same time, they need to locate a village where the pilot is being held captive by rebels. This mission must be completed as a team. Then comes the twist. Torres appoints 81 as the team leader. In reality, this is a test to see if he truly deserves to be a ranger. As time passes, 81's team, Alpha, is deployed into a mountainous area. They land near the crash site of the aircraft, which they call Destroyer. 81 announces they have 24 hours to complete the mission. Eventually, they locate the destroyer. 81 lays out a strategy to destroy it without being ambushed by the instructors overseeing the exercise. The demolition team plants C4 explosives on the aircraft. Once they reach a safe distance, they detonate it. But something is wrong. The explosion does nothing. Instead, it activates the destroyer. The aircraft begins to move, transforming into a deadly combat robot. As soon as it detects Alpha Team, it launches a brutal attack. Caught off guard and unarmed, their rifles have no ammo, the team can only run. When they're cornered, the destroyer fires explosive attacks. The blast throws them off a hill. Several members are badly injured, including one known as Seven. Before this, they've already lost many teammates to the robot's relentless assault. After giving emergency treatment, 81 sets off alone to find a working communication device. But every radio he finds is destroyed. Helpless, he hides as he watches the destroyer kill another Alpha member. When the timing feels right, the remaining team attempts to descend a cliff. Suddenly, 81's compass starts malfunctioning. A sign the destroyer is nearby. And moments later, it attacks again. Alpha is forced to flee once more after their hiding spot is exposed. After barely escaping, they take a short rest. They begin questioning what the destroyer actually is. They recall hearing a strange sound before it started attacking. 81 decides their best option is to head to the rebel village, hoping to find help. To get there, 81 swims across a strong river current. He then orders the team to build a rope system so they can cross safely. Once it's set, they begin transporting 7 on a stretcher. 81 and the others stabilize the rope while 15 pulls the stretcher across. But midway, the stretcher gets stuck. As they try to fix it, the destroyer returns. With no choice left, the team jumps into the river to escape. The current drags them away. 81 clings tightly to 7's stretcher. In a desperate move, they go over a waterfall, somehow surviving the fall. Minutes later, 81 regains consciousness. The remaining team confirms that 7 is still alive. Based on everything they've seen, they realize something terrifying. The destroyer is not part of the training. This isn't a simulation. The obstacles were supposed to be traps, but this is something else entirely. They continue toward the rebel village. When they arrive, the place is destroyed. They believe the destroyer attacked it. Even the radio tower is gone, which explains why communication failed. The captured pilot is also dead. Soon after, they find an instructor in critical condition. But he dies moments later. 81 immediately orders the team to move again to avoid another encounter. But 15 challenges him, frustrated that the team isn't given time to recover. To stop the tension, 81 reveals the truth. He was awarded a Silver Star for his actions in Afghanistan. But he never takes pride in it. Because he failed to save Jay. Once things calm down, they try to start an armored vehicle nearby. At first, it doesn't work. But thanks to 15's skills as a technician, the engine is repaired. Working together, they free the vehicle. Moments later, signs show the destroyer is approaching again. The team quickly gets inside and prepares the onboard weapons. Before leaving, 15 risks his life to grab ammo for the vehicle's machine gun. They drive off, trying to escape. But the destroyer keeps attacking. The vehicle takes heavy damage. Just when they think they've gotten away, the destroyer returns, stronger and more aggressive. They fight back using the vehicle's weapons. But it has no effect. Eventually, the vehicle flips over from the impact. Time passes. 81 wakes up, injured. He looks around. Everyone is dead. He is the only one left. Moments later, he sees the destroyer transmitting a signal, as if calling for others. Then, unexpectedly, he finds 7 still alive on the stretcher. 81 quickly carries him to safety. When they hide, 7 regains consciousness and reveals something important. He knew Jay. And he knew about Jay's dream, to become a ranger alongside 81. That dream is the reason 81 kept going. He wanted to become a ranger for his brother, and to overcome his trauma. Remembering how he once fixed Jay's vehicle, 81 finally comes up with a plan. After hiding 7 in the forest, he heads to a nearby mining facility. There, he finds equipment he can use. He fires a flare, luring the destroyer toward him. As it arrives, it triggers a trap. Explosives detonate, knocking it down. Seizing the moment, 81 uses a bulldozer to push the robot toward a rock crusher. The destroyer fights back. But 81 keeps forcing it into position. Rocks begin falling into its ventilation system. At the last second, 81 jumps out to avoid its counterattack. Seconds later, the destroyer explodes. But before shutting down completely, it releases multiple bombs as a final attack. 81 barely escapes the massive explosion that destroys the entire facility. The next day, He carries 7 back to the base, which is partially damaged. When they arrive, soldiers are busy evacuating the area. Shortly after, helicopters arrive carrying pieces of the destroyer. 81 is then approached by Sergeant Major Sheridan. He learns that the base has just survived the first wave of attacks. And there are many more. News reports reveal that asteroid fragments have fallen across the world. Each one transforms into a destroyer upon impact. Now, nations are forming a global alliance, preparing their militaries to fight an invasion of tens of thousands of these machines. Sheridan then asks 81 how he managed to destroy one without heavy weapons. 81 explains. The robot can be disabled if its main ventilation system is blocked. Because of his courage and determination, 81 is officially promoted to Ranger. Sheridan tells him that Jay would be proud. Time passes. Torres now briefs a group of Rangers. And 81 stands among them. They are part of a global defense operation formed to fight the destroyer invasion. Their mission is to evacuate civilians and clear the way for heavy weapons. Soon after, the Rangers board a helicopter heading toward the city. During the flight, 81 finally sleeps peacefully. His trauma is gone. And with that, the story comes to an end.